Hello.
Let's talk about 5G.
Sure, why not?
It's stronger,
Okay.
faster, smarter,
Really?
bigger. Generally speaking, it's much better. But most of all, it's inevitable. With the exponential explosion of devices addicted to the internet, 5G is the G-force needed to push everything forward.
No.
From self-driving vehicles to playing Fortnite above the clouds or drones flying hot pizza to your door.
Come on.
5G is a must, but it can't reach everywhere by itself. This is where we at GILT step in.
Okay, enough. That is the most cheesy and ridiculous company video I've ever seen. But wait, what's the deal? And why has ARK Invest loaded up over 500,000 shares? I went deep drilling into GILT, and I'm going to share with you what they do, news, risks, and more importantly, why I think this could be a blockbuster 4x stock in the coming months, which is currently making huge moves up whilst literally staying under the radar. Stick around, you cannot afford to be in the dark on this. Keep it simple. For those of you new to the channel, I am the Simple Trader. I share with you explosive stocks that I am buying, looking to buy, or already have sitting in my freedom portfolio. I am not a financial advisor though, so please understand this is all just for entertainment. Full disclosure, after deep drilling operations, I've just started a very small position in GILT and will look to continue to average in more shares as I see huge potential, which hopefully after you have watched this video you may agree. Or, if you don't, I would love to hear your views, so please do leave me a comment down below. No more plugging, let's start drilling. Okay, so before we look at what GILT does, yes, I'm going to call them GILT because I don't like GILT, it just sounds a bit wrong. Let's look at what sparked my interest in the first place. Looking at ARK Invest Israeli ETF, we can see GILT holds the third position with over 500,000 shares, but quite frankly, the ARK Israeli ETF is probably one of the lesser known ARK ETFs, but what is interesting is what GILT represents, and we will go over this in the next segment. Now, for some reason, even I seem to be building up a portfolio of Israeli companies like Nano Dimension and CheckCap. There seems to be something about Israel and Israeli companies that ARK Invest in terms of innovation seems to agree with. Don't take my word for it, just refer to World War Z.
How did Israel know?
Okay, jokes aside, I'm pretty sure you must be aware that space stocks have been going through the roof lately with the recently announced ARKX Space ETF that was filed with the SEC. According to the SEC filing, ARKX should begin 75 days after the filing, which puts us around the end of March. This means we still have a 2-month-ish window to speculate and to try to get some preemptive strikes on some stocks which may end up within this fund. It's simple. If a stock is to be placed in this fund, it essentially means two things. 1. ARK will be buying shares, and 2. Other people and other institutions may well follow suit, and if the other ARK ETFs are anything to go by, then oh me oh my. It's worth noting that GILT has an overall institutional ownership of over 30% of the outstanding shares. This is quite good for me, as this means it will have room to grow and to expand, and potentially luring more institutions to buy in the future. So how does ARKX relate in any way to GILT? Well, let me present to you what GILT does first, and we can simply try to piece this together. Simply put, GILT has been around for 30 years plus, and literally been working under the radar it seems. Taking the recent financials into consideration, we see that they were profitable in 2019 with a diluted earnings per share of 43 cents in the fourth quarter of 2019. Things seem to have gone a bit south in 2020, and clearly down to the pandemic. We saw them posting a loss for the first, second and third quarters of 2020. In their third quarter results, they claim that the losses were mainly down to the pandemic and also the litigation of a terminated merger agreement with Comtech Telecommunications Corp. Now this is quite interesting because under the settlement of termination, check this, Comtech will pay $70 million to GILT. The original merger was confirmed in January 2020 before the pandemic struck, and GILT were to be acquired in a cash and stock transaction valued at approximately $532.5 million, which is roughly the market cap of Gilat right now. Safe to say, this is seemingly a strong win-win for Gilat now as we move forward. That brings us to the recent huge news and contract wins that we have seen in the fourth quarter of 2020 and also more recently in January. There are so many that I can't afford to go into detail on each, so here's a quick overview. October 19th, Gilat was selected by Southern Link for a 3-year managed contract for 4G cellular backhaul services. October 22nd, Gilat was awarded a $20 million contract for backhaul services and expansion from a Tier 1 MNO, mobile network operator in the US. October 28th, Gilat was awarded a multi-million dollar order for military communications program. This was an award to Gilat's subsidiary, Wavestream, which will provide unparalleled high-power 50-watt Ka-band military block-up converters to power the DoD military communications program. November 9th, Gilat and SES expands their partnership with a multi-million dollar contract follow-on order for high-speed modems. December 8th, Gilat receives another multi-million dollar order for US DoD Tactical Communications Program, again via their subsidiary, Wavestream. December 14th, Gilat announces that they were selected to equip hundreds of boats, vessels, and cruise ships with satellite communications in Asia. December 21st, Gilat announces the award of a multi-million dollar order from Hippasat, I probably butchered that, for cellular backhaul over satellite services to rural areas in Mexico. This will provide over 3 million people in Mexico with 4.5G coverage. January 11th, Gilat was awarded a multi-million dollar contract for expansion of cellular backhaul project in the Philippines by Globe, who are the largest mobile network operator in the Philippines. This is a huge win for Gilat in a developing country moving forward very quickly. And finally, on January 19th, Axis awards Gilat a multi-million dollar contract to expand cellular coverage for 2 key mobile operators in Mexico. So just based on these fourth quarter and January contract awards, I'm sure you can now see a picture building up that Gilat essentially provides all things and services relating to satellite provided broadband networking. As we move into a newer age where satellite data is becoming a reality, the old age telemast technologies with coverage and distancing limitations are being replaced and superseded. This is a huge billion-dollar industry which is set to grow big as the developing countries look to modernize. Gilat are already taking up huge market share as we see their recent contract awards in places like Mexico, Peru, and the Philippines. They are also expanding big in US defense applications and also marine and coastal provisions worldwide. They have huge leading enterprise customers with the likes of Vodafone, BT, Telecom, Globe, and Electra, for example. Another industry where they are looking to monopolize is aviation, where their customers include Air Canada, United Airlines, and Virgin Atlantic, for example, where they are providing aero models on single networks for in-flight communications. Clearly, this sector will rebound one day once we get over the current restrictions due to the pandemic. I also found it quite interesting that despite a first, second, and third quarter net loss, that Gilat still announces a dividend. The first was announced on October 30th, where the funds were generally from the proceeds of the termination of merger agreement with Comtech. The second was announced on December 30th, which will be a further dividend to the one announced in October and paid out in December. This second dividend was paid out on the 20th of January. What this shows me is they must have had a blockbuster fourth quarter in 2020. Now, their third quarter results showed me this, that their cash reserves at $77 million is a bit low. So I still can't fully grasp the dividend payout unless their income from the fourth quarter were meteoric. If you have any thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear. Okay, so what's the market potential of 5G alone? Well, according to many sources, this is already a multi-billion-dollar industry which is set to explode, and according to Allied Research, for example, will grow to a whopping $667 billion market by 2026, with, check this, the Asia Pacific region contributing the most by growing to $329 billion alone by 2026. GILT already have a foothold in the Philippines, so I am expecting big things from them in this region. As always, let's take a quick look at the price action and see where we could be heading. GILT had a horrible 2020, but since around October last year, it has slowly started to uptrend. These jumps were in line with their released contract wins, and we saw a huge jump on the stock price on January 19th, which was in line with their Mexican contract award. Now, I bought in on the 21st of January at a price of $9.15, but it is the smallest position in my portfolio, as this is one stock I want to slowly average in over the next coming few weeks, as I see some overall volatility in the markets. My price target for mid-February is between $10 to $15, with the fourth quarter and year-end results conference call confirmed for the 16th of February. I think this would be a major catalyst, as we would see the development of the fourth quarter in full. Now, what I'm also thinking is ARK Invest may continue to load up in their Israeli ETF, which could keep the stock trending up nicely. And if this stock starts to catch on and get some attention, it could be heading to the moon. Okay, so my price target for end March and April would be upwards of $20 to $25, and that's if GILT are added to ARKX, which would be absolutely insane if they are not, because ARKX is targeting space, and GILT are working in space with their satellites, and also the fact that they are already in the Israeli ARK ETF. This all points to me that they will be included in ARKX without doubt, but that is just my speculation only. To summarize, if all these catalysts come good and GILT continue to win more multi-million-dollar contracts, and the world starts coming back to normality and aviation starts picking up, then by May-June, I think we could see GILT trading above $40, which would represent a 4x based on current price. As I'm recording this, GILT are up close to 12% on little volume, which means they are still flying under the radar, and that's good for me to continue to buy in. Now, I am speculating a lot here, and I've pieced together some news and hypothetical situations, but based on all these, I really see this as a winning play. So I think you should at least take a look into this. Please note that all companies like this come with risks, and factor in that we have just seen it close to 2x in literally 4 months. As mentioned, one of the risks I see is their cash position, as disclosed in their third quarter results of 2020, were frankly quite low. And so I do see a dilution coming soon, especially on the back of the recent jump up in stock price. So that is one reason why I am slowly averaging in a position. Thank you for watching, and remember that I have started a small position in GILT, so do take my analysis with precaution. Do your own due diligence and speak to a professional before you look to invest any of your money. The purpose of my channel and my videos is purely to share my deep drills on stocks that I want to buy or already have bought, which may help you to make similar educated investment moves going forward. If you are interested in other huge growth stocks that I have in my portfolio, please check out my other videos. For more huge growth stock picks, analysis and updates, please stay tuned and consider to subscribe to my channel so you get the information first. I am the Simple Trader. I try to keep this very simple, and will simply see you next time.